Welcome to Season 1 of the Resilient Dad Show. I'm your host, Pat DiDomenico. When I became a single dad and was faced with navigating social parenting issues and the complexity of the family legal system, I felt confused and I felt like I had nowhere to turn. That's why I created the Resilient Dad Show, a place that I so badly needed and wish had been available for me during the grueling and challenging times of working through my own experience. This show will feature industry experts in mental health, social services, and personal development, along with resilient dad role models whose stories of overcoming the challenges of co-parenting will create a new vision for the life you and your kids deserve. If you have any questions or want to suggest a future guest on the show, please visit resilientdad.fm for more information. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Resilient Dad Show. I'm your host, Pat DiDomenico, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the importance of mental health and your physical well-being. And I'm sure that not only myself, but a lot of other people have felt in a place where they're not in control of their mind and they're feeling very unhealthy, and in terms of their body, not being necessarily in the place that they want to be. So let's start by talking about mental health. So in regards to some mental health, tools that I've been able to use and that have helped me in the past, from being in a place of, being very overwhelmed with my circumstances and, my environment, was focusing on the things that, that are in terms of that I'm grateful for, and understanding that in both ways, there's always an opportunity to look at things in a positive way or a negative way. So the good or the bad is always going to be available. Being able to focus on the good and the positive, we're able to see and be in a more grateful state of mind, which for me, being in that state for greater mind always lets me see the positive in the things, and being able to have, I guess, a clear mind in general is, your peace is your number one. And if you don't have peace within your mind, you're stuck. So it's staying out of your head and focusing on being in your heart. Another thing is in terms of your focus. So one of the tools that I've learned through the Tony Robbins world is my triad. So in terms of my physiology being the base, my focus, and my language. So where am I focusing on in the direction that, in terms of I want to be? What are the things that I want out of the situation? And the language that I'm using, and being self-aware in terms of what am I saying to myself? What are some of the patterns that in terms of that are replaying? Am I replaying a positive pattern, or am I replaying an old story that doesn't serve me? So one of the tools that I help to use in terms of on my focus and my language is, in the morning, I go for a 45-minute walk. During that 45-minute walk, I go through my incantations. So it may be as simple as, all I need is within me now. Or in terms of, I can use my primary question. So in terms of, how do I love and appreciate myself for the person I am, created by God to love and contribute to the world? And eventually, by replaying those incantations, and in terms of those, my focus, and in terms of having those positive language, I've been able to create in terms of more positive outcome and life for myself. So staying out of our head, being in our heart, making sure that in terms of our focus on what we actually want and not what we want and what we don't want, and our language that we use. So, I'm sure that we've all experienced this, where there's something that we've really either desired or that we didn't want, and we've constantly focused on that one thing, and then that one thing that we didn't want or that we really wanted came to fruition. So it just goes to show in terms of the mindset in terms of where our focus goes is where energy flows. So that would be in terms of my in terms of bit on mindset and physiology. So our body needs to move. So in terms of energy. So I know that in terms of when I feel tired, or in terms of if I'm in a poor state, all I need to do is as simply as either stand up. I've got a standing desk that I work from. I know that that's helped me a lot in terms of with my energy levels, not just always sitting down. One thing that I've done with a coach of mine recently was being in a poor state. I dropped and did 10 burpees. So those 10 burpees quickly got me out of the state of not being able to think of an outcome or in terms of what I wanted. So that's a quick way for me to snap out of it. So that morning walk, so I'm moving my body. I'm using that time to also work on my mind. So for me, that's a great way to utilize my time, and it's nice and early in the morning, way before anyone gets up. And I feel a lot better. I also do a 15-minute routine with Egoscue, which is another tool that in terms of I was able to find through the Tony Robbins world. Prior to September last year, I would be at the osteo, physio, masseuse at least once a week. Otherwise, literally my body couldn't, my back was always stiff. And it's simply by moving in the morning, 45 minutes, as well as my Egoscue 15-minute workout, focusing on in terms of utilizing that time with my incantations and my primary question and the positive outcomes that I want for the day. That has really changed, not only my life in terms of setting up my day, but also in terms of, the direction where I want to go. Prior to December last year, I was on antidepressants for 4 years straight. Now, there was a lot of things that I tried to do to get off it, and there was times that, we tried, but didn't quite work. But purely by that morning routine and being able to focus on, my mindset and my health, I was able to bin it. And, I'm proud that in terms of, after 4 years of constantly being dependent on it, that, I'm able to work through my day to day. There's always going to be challenges that come up, but it's the way that we look at it and understanding that we can only control what we can, and everything on the outside is what it is. And being able to accept that also helps our mind be at peace, that in terms of we've done the best that we can, and whatever the outcome will be, you've done everything that you possibly can, and that's all that matters. So thanks very much for listening in today's show, and I hope you guys got something out of it. Take care. Hey guys, I really appreciate you listening to today's show. It means a lot to me that you're part of the journey and mission to help single fathers be the best dads possible. I'd really appreciate it if you review the show and share it with someone you generally believe could benefit from the content. Please visit resilientdad.com for more content and resources as we build this community for dads everywhere.